Hey guys, and welcome to my channel and welcome to this video. Today I will be painting a sea, some waves using salt. I will be using just a couple of watercolors from Sennelier, and also I will be using the Sepia from White Nights. For the paper, I'll use Centenaire watercolor paper. It is cold press watercolor paper, 300 GSM, 18 by 26 centimeters or 7 by 10 and 1/4 of an inch. And for the brushes, I will be using few brushes. This larger flat brush, one round brush number 12, and a small round brush number 4. Also, I will be of course using salt. And this is just a regular table salt, so nothing particular. And first I will be mixing my colors. I'll use a lot of Prussian blue and quite amount of water. You can see I've placed a lot of water in my palette. Also, I will be mixing Prussian blue with Ivory black. And just gonna give it a try to see how it looks. So you can see how that looks. A little bit more of the Prussian blue, again quite amount of water mixed in with a sap green to create slightly turquoise color. And if you haven't really used salt, and well, I guess this one is a little bit too green for me, I do want to make it slightly turquoise, just added a little bit more of the Prussian blue. Also, I will be using some yellow ochre mixed in with raw umber. And as I said, if you haven't been using salt a lot or have problems with using salt and not sure how to use it, I do have a video I posted just a couple of days ago where I'm just trying out using salt and just showing you techniques, how to use salt, how to practice with salt. So I will place the link right now up, and you can go ahead and check that video out. You will see there a little bit more in details how to use salt. First, I have pre-wetted the entire paper, and then I'm topping in with the tip of my brush and just adding here and there. First that blue mix and then a turquoise in between here and there, also leaving some spots a little bit lighter, some spots a little bit darker. And you can see my paint is quite pigmented. I have used a lot of pigment in my water because I really do want to have just one layer of the paint. I don't want to add more paint on top because I will be using salt, and I do want nice effect with the salt, just leaving the white of the paper. And so you can't really add more layers when you do that, so just topping in here and there a little bit more of the paint. Now I'm adding that mix of yellow ochre and raw umber for the beach, and also some sepia at the edge where the waves finish, where the sea finishes and touches the beach. I do want to make that part looking like there are some shadows under the water, so just adding a little bit more saturated paint there and this darker sepia, and also slightly into the water to make it look like those are shallow waters. You can also see I painted that part turquoise lighter and the part that is a little bit further away from the beach darker. So just adding a little bit more of the sepia here and there. And now I will add salt. And I do want to add salt on the edges where my different colors meet, but also I'm using quite amount of the salt, so the effect will be quite harsh. And if you don't want that harsh effect, if you just want a subtle effect, don't use that much salt, because later on you will see when this dries it will be very salt effect will be very visible. So just don't go overboard with your salt if you don't want the same effect, if you just want to make it subtle. Couple of splatters, just a couple of splatters with that blue here and there. And then I left this to dry completely, and you can see now that it's dry. It actually dried overnight. This is the second day. I'm just removing the salt using also a clean towel to help myself remove the salt, and you can see the effect is very strong. So as I said, if you don't want that strong effect, just use less salt. And I've picked up again same mixture of Prussian blue and ivory black, and just going beneath the edges where the salt is. I do want to make those edges slightly softer, so just going on the edge using quite a dark pigment. Also want to make it look like maybe that part is in the shadow, so it's slightly darker, or the sea is slightly deeper there, or maybe some seagrass are there. So just adding here and there that blue. And I did not prevent the paper. I don't want to prevent the paper because I do want to have a control adding those colors, those details. But when I do add the line, I just rinse my brush, dry it onto a paper towel, and smoothen out the edges. So these are just again same blue and turquoise I used for the sea, just adding them here and there where I do want to create the edges of the waves. And again, the effect will be quite strong, but I really do like that. It's unpredictable. So also the salt is, every time you're gonna use salt, you're gonna have slightly different effect. Just tapping in here and there. Now I'm using turquoise in the lower part, and also a little bit of sepia for where the beach is. And you can see right now it just starts to look like the sea and the waves. And also I do want to make the distinction between my beach and the water, so I'm gonna add that sepia there and make that line harsh and make that line quite clear. And just gonna smoothen that out. And also in that lower part I will be adding mix of yellow ochre and burnt sienna for the beach. A little bit of sepia also on the beach. I do want to make it look like there are some maybe footsteps or some grass or stones there also. So just tapped in couple of splatters with sepia, and then a couple of splatters with clean water, and you can see where the effect of the salt is under that sepia. It just creates a different color. Looks very, very beautiful. And now again with this detail brush, I'm picking up blue, and also I will be using turquoise and just adding a little bit more of the details. This time I'm not using a very, very pigmented paint. I have diluted it and just adding subtle lines for the waves, and also adding the movement of the sea, painting in between my waves right now with the sepia, with the turquoise, and just here and there, of course, depending on the effect that is on your paper, you will also do these details. You're not going to add them same places as I did. It's probably going to be a little bit different, but I'm adding those on those whiter spots where the salt is, and also a couple of splatters right now with sepia, and just rinsed my brush, a couple of more a little bit lighter. And with that, I'll be finishing off this painting. This is quite simple, and I did not use a white gouache. Usually I do use a white gouache, but you don't need it here. If your salt effect worked, you're not gonna need any white. So as I said, if you're not sure with the salt and don't know how to use it, there is a video. I will put the link also down in the description box. You can go ahead, check it out, and see a little bit more details about using salt with watercolors. And also there are over 400 videos on my channel, tutorials, so I'm sure you're gonna find something for yourself. Maybe check out my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. And again, if you do like this video, hit the like button, share it, and comment. And thank you so much for watching. I hope I'll see you next time. Bye.